And then there we go. Yo, what's going on, guys? Koi here. So today we are actually going to be streaming. What do you call it? The I always have to start off with that, don't I? What do you call it? What I mean is, like today we're going to be doing a pretty much a world tier list of every single character in the game. So what this means is it pretty much means the character rankings for which characters have come out on top over the time. What's up? What's up, PJ? Freaking, I got the guys here to really just be more moral support than anything, and help me make these decisions. And I think this is, going to be the way we do it, really. So, pretty much, I don't. Should we start with the top five and then just kind of work our way down? I feel like that's gonna like the method. Which characters have really outshined other characters? And for this instance, I would actually say because there's a lot of great characters here. Don't get me wrong. Like some top five contenders are like Tatsumaki. I would say like Metal Knight. Freaking Blizzard's one of those characters I don't like as much either. But you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and give the dude his role real quick. We're gonna go all the way to the top five and just kind of like say Sonic is right here. I don't know if anyone agrees with me on that one, but Sonic is just an amazing character. He's probably one of the best damage dealers in the game. Freaking, that's just like one of the things that I believe in. And especially if you play this dude as a main, he's pretty much untouchable. Oh man, freaking. Let's see. Bottom first, bottom tier. I mean, we can knock out bottom tier honestly. Let's see. Who is a bottom tier contender? Honestly. Uh, who's the most inconsistent damage dealer ever? Uh, hmm. That's a hard one. That's really a hard one. Freaking who is the bottom of the bottom tier? That is hard. Okay, so no lie, that's a lot harder than I thought it would be. I cannot decide on a character that really just goes in the bottom because almost all these characters have really, really, really good freaking upsides over downsides. Stinger's definitely not top 10. Freaking let's see. Okay, for one, we got to put Tatsumaki up here. She's at least number 3 over things. Tatsumaki's definitely up there. Needs the parry to get going. That is true. Job hunting does have a lot of requirements. Yeah, her mechanic is very annoying though. Blizzard's definitely not top 10 material in my opinion. She's like top 20 maybe because she still has really really good damage. It's just that pulling that damage off is just really really hard for me at least. And for a lot of people who don't want to do that 0.5 second like freaking skill tap. What do you mean? That is Golden Ball. That's Golden Ball. Freaking okay. So let's go ahead and say I would say yeah. No, the Dream World Saitama's damage is insane. Freaking no lie. I think one of the only contenders I could say is like people who just are not top 10 is definitely like Zombie Man's not top 10 for me. A lot of people are gonna disagree with me on that one too. Sorry. Let's see. Freaking Sneck. He's great, man. I don't know. You're missing out on that dodge mechanic. That dodge mechanic is insane. And triple Sneck move with high potential and everything like that is just ridiculous. That's why he's still a character I put on my team to this day. So I mean, freaking Sneck is definitely up there. I would even say like he's definitely above Zombie Man in some cases. Because at least he's more consistent than Zombie Man. E Iron, my personal man, no shit. I want to make him a top 5. Let's see. I think E Iron's top five, maybe even like maybe even like top three. I don't know. Let's see. You need to complete her full combo. Yeah, you do. You need to complete her full combo. Way too stressful. No, I do agree with that. I think Fubuki's definitely down here in that department. She's harder to use than a lot of freaking SSR characters. I mean, than a lot of SR characters at that too. I mean, even Smile Man gets more consistent damage than her in most cases because Smile Man's freaking really, really freaking good. I would even consider Smile Man being stronger than Zombie Man and Snack in that department. She deserves top three. Yeah, that's obvious. She's probably one of the more consistent characters. I would even consider a top one, top two. Just like in the anime, they kind of made her. She's movable. She can move. She can do a lot of damage. She can support your team. She could be an attacker, or she could be an immunity unit. So it really just depends on what do you like. What do you call it? What do you want to really run? Uh, no, like who would be top one in this department? Honestly, like who would be top one? Because I know top tier characters definitely. Oh man, don't get me wrong. Puri Puri Prisoner is definitely up here though. I think a little more like this maybe. She's number one. No, like okay, we'll put Tatsumaki at number one for now, and then freaking we'll do like Puri Puri Prisoner here. And we'll do Metal Knight. Metal Knight here. I think everyone agrees with Metal Knight just being a very, very consistent AoE damage dealer. Just amazing, amazing unit across the board. You just can't go wrong with this guy. Doesn't matter what type of content you're tackling. If you build this dude's full attack without having to try, this dude literally just pops off. So I mean, Metal Knight's just one of those kind of characters. Freaking Metal Knight top five. Yeah, man. Freaking Metal Knight top five is just like up there, man. Let's see. Pretty is like non-skill. The dash kind of sucks. Well, the dash is more for just mobility. That's what makes him really freaking good. Because like realistically speaking, he has an infinite cheat. Like he has an infinite what do you call it? He's one of the only characters that can infinite parry, which is just super super broken in most departments cuz an infinite parry means that you're negating a fuck ton of damage. Freaking Silverfang, definitely top 10. I wouldn't say Silverfang's bad in that department. I would even say that he's more consistent. He isn't as consistent. Yep. Freaking I think that Silverfang's definitely top 10, but I wouldn't say he's up there in the top 10. Now, what do you call it? Another consistent character I could say that could definitely go up here is like, Dreamworld Saitama is definitely up here. He's definitely under Sonic because Sonic is just so ridiculous. Sonic is definitely ridiculous in that department. He just does so much damage, just ridiculous damage and consistent bleed over like Dreamworld Saitama. Dreamworld Saitama is just ridiculously good. But if you can't like freaking hit your target, then like you kind of miss. But you could always stay on target with Sonic. That's what makes him so good. Yeah, freaking Silverfang, he's just not as consistent until you get like pot one. And then even at that, he's still not as consistent as a lot of characters here. Speaking of consistent characters, I do think that SR Genos is definitely up here. This is where we're about to start going crazy. Uh, yeah, freaking without parrying attacks. Yeah, for reals though, he's incredibly hard to get going. Hence why he's probably even just like maybe number 10 in the top 10, honestly. Freaking let's see. SSR Genos is kind of mid, especially at the start of the fight when he basically does negative damage until he gets his two modes off. For reals, you do need a lot of potential for freaking SSR Genos to even pop off, which is just kind of a problem. And especially like he is an amazing breaker. I would even say he's still better than Zombie Man in this department. But the only problem with Genos is he's so annoying because let's say you're doing like Jet Gatling or one of the moves where you have to stand in place, you're missing a crap ton of damage if they come at you. And 9 times out of 10, if you're maining the character, they're gonna come after you. That's just the way it is. You know what I mean? Uh, let's see. Atomic Samurai really underperformed this year. Honestly, he really did. I would even say he's like not even top 10 material. The dude requires you to pretty much like attack as much as you possibly can, switching modes while you attack, and then after that, having to continuously switch modes. He's pretty much another Genos, except this Genos does more damage. That's pretty much it. But the only downside is this dude has no defensive mechanics besides like that one dodge ish thing, but that still counts as your dodge. So you're still wasting dodge bar. So he's less consistent as characters like Silverfang defensively and less damage consistent as someone like freaking SSR Genos who could just pop off. That is very true. A ton of money to freaking get him. That is very, very true. Like in a lot of cases, a lot of these characters that are going to be dropping are not going to be the best in the game because of the fact that these characters are just less consistent or they have some type of flaw which makes them really really stupid and hard to use. And like I hate this argument where it's like you could do a no damage run with Atomic Samurai, just dodge better. Dude, there's characters here who don't have to dodge better. They could just infinitely block like Puri Puri Prisoner. They could run away like Tatsumaki. They could just fly away like freaking Metal Knight. Like they don't need to stand there and block or dodge. They could just run away and keep shooting you or attacking you at the same time. Or keep blocking or benefit from blocking, which is like where E Iron stands, because he's a freaking walking nuke because E Iron is the equivalent of a nuking character, where if you can get every dodge, you could pretty much counterattack. Counterattacks are amazing. Freaking Atomic Samurai has counterattacks, but they're like the budget version of what counterattacks you actually get with freaking E Iron. Because with E Iron, you get the counterattacks, then you get a nuke. You have to switch modes twice to get the nuke for like Atomic. Yes, he's consistent, but he's not as consistent as characters like freaking Dreamworld Saitama and Sonic, who are just way better at keeping the damage going. At least in my opinion. Freaking, and hence why he kind of falls. I would even okay. This is where I'm gonna have a bit of a problem because I do like him a bit more than Silverfang because he's more consistent. Honestly, I think that's where we're probably gonna have a few problems here. Maybe because Silverfang's just so inconsistent, it's crazy. Even Snek is more consistent than Silverfang, which is crazy to me. Because with Snek, you can continuously dodge, pop off, get a mode bar, and then continue doing damage until you get triple Snek. And then once you get triple Snek, you get rewarded for popping off triple Snek. With Silverfang, he's amazing. Don't get me wrong. As a main, and oh god, I clicked the wrong thing. As a main and stuff like that, but it's just really really hard. uh, yeah, I am considering their potential and their arms cards too. But with the arms cards, it's more like are they viable in different ways? Okay, so he's consistent in healing. Who's consistent in healing? Because I know freaking Saitama can heal. He's one of the only characters in the game that can heal. Honestly, freaking this is a hard one right here because these guys just fall into that department where they just don't have incredible kits. But I do think that Lily is definitely a top 10 contender. She's just so good. She does a crap ton of damage. She does a crap ton of freaking uh she's just ridiculous. She can parry, she can block, she can counterattack. She pretty much has hyper armor in almost all of her moves, except for her starting moves, obviously. But her main objective is freaking. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, if you just keep pressing M1s, he'll probably block without wanting to. Yeah, exactly. No, I totally agree with that. I totally agree. It's just that he's just he that's all he's good for is just tanking, but he's like a budget version of what Puri Puri Prisoner can already do but better. Like the more we played the game, freaking, I would say the more we played the game, the more we've been able to see who could pop off more consistently. And freaking with Putty Putty Prisoner, you're gonna get that automatic block every single time. As long as you block, you never will lose bar. And then freaking after you block, you could pretty much go into a full mode where you can hit them back for exactly what they hit you for, which is very, very consistent, very, very high damage dealing. He's like a better version of what Silverfang is right now. I think the problem with Silverfang is he's just not fast enough. He's just not fast enough to where he can pretty much parry every single attack. Because even with delayed hit characters, there's a chance where freaking he could get hit and then boom, you lost his combo. Of course, Putty Putty Prisoner takes a lot more skill to use. It's just a little weird. Yeah, everyone's dissing Stinger. Gosha would be losing his shit right now, but let's be honest. Stinger's not exactly top 10 material. It's really, really hard to even say if he's top 20. Freaking Lightning Max is an amazing damage dealer, don't get me wrong. He's probably more consistent than Fubuki. And definitely more consistent than fucking Zombie Man, let's be honest here. If you've seen his lightning kicks pop off, he fucking shreds bosses like nothing. It's crazy. And the dude can pretty much stay out of harm's way without even trying. Lightning Max is just one of those characters. I would even say is above Genos in some ways because of how consistent the dude is. But freaking man, no lie, where I want to know where do y'all think? Yeah, where do y'all think that Silverfang really deserves to be? I'm gonna let you guys look one more time at the top 10 to even tell me if like he even deserves to be at top 10. Realistically speaking, we could put him in that number 9 slot, but like freaking, eh, oh yeah, freaking the Movement Rider freaking bike glitch was hilarious. Yep, freaking. I don't see it, man. Like I don't see Homeboy getting here 9 at least. Uh, yo, what's up, Johan? What's up, Tiny Zombie? Freaking, I just don't know. I don't feel comfortable with putting him anything over here. He's all right, but definitely nothing crazy. Yeah, freaking, because there's characters here that just do crazy amounts of shit. Let's be honest here. Like Metal Knight's one of the highest damage dealers in the game. Amazing support. You can't go wrong with this guy. Tatsumaki just does consistent damage even when freaking missing because she has AoE too. Putty Putty Prisoner is just a ridiculous freaking defensive character, which is just like defending the hell out of himself without even trying. Yo, what's up, man? Sesso. I'm not even gonna try to say that. The big C, the big cheese. All right, I was like 10 as in standard to gatekeep the worst characters. Honestly, I do feel that. I do feel that. I can't. The thing about Atomic Samurai is I could put him up here, but I could at least do that. So he's not like top 10 material. No, 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 not in DPS only. Freaking, it's more like just an overall ranking. So overall ranking, pretty much like where do they kind of land in this department? Freaking, yeah, he does like he's like the most offensive tank in the game and the most consistent tank in the game too. With E Iron being like right under that, because E Iron can't spam his block, but at least he has one and can counterattack just like pretty pretty. And then Sonic is just ridiculous. Let's be honest. Sonic is just a ridiculous damage dealer. I would even argue for Sonic 4, but like honestly, E Iron is just fucking really good defensively and has that nuke potential, which is crazy. Freaking Dreamworld Saitama is amazing. Freaking Genos is amazing. Uh, the other Genos not so much. Like it is what it is. That transforming stuff is like really really mid. Okay, so freaking Triple Staff Lily is amazing. Uh, honestly, there is another character here that we are missing out on. Yeah, for reals. That's a good one. That's actually a good one. Putty Putty Prisoner or Iron? because okay, so their kits are almost the same. That's the real kicker. Their kits are actually almost the same because E Iron's kit requires him to block. After he blocks, you could automatically counterattack. Same shit with Pretty Prisoner, but he gains bonus damage based off of if he's running I think neg crit. So I mean you could make him do some ridiculous counterattacks like in the 6,000s to 10,000s. And so can E Iron. But the difference is I think that they're both nukers in their own right, but I don't know. There's just something really, really weird about Pretty Prisoner in his kit. Something that just allows him to pretty much be more defensive and more offensive at the same time with that bunch with a bunch of cuts. I mean, with a bunch of freaking punches. Man, yeah, freaking no lie, I do feel that though. Yeah, that is true. That is true. I do feel that. Freaking, he is easier to unlock. A lot of the SR characters are really easy to unlock. Yeah, Golden Ball is definitely not top 10 material, Doug. Like, I would even consider him at the bottom of the list. And I would consider Fubuki, like, right next to that. Because it's not just the fact that Golden Ball's just inconsistent. It's the fact that he's so gimmicky. He relies on you to always stay in range and then always pop off a very specific combo. But at the same time, I don't think he's that bad because he is also a ranged unit, which means that 9 times out of 10 with ranged units, you could just get away with doing the shit instead. And you don't have to worry too much like characters that have to be up close, if you get my drift. He does do his job very decently. I would even say he's more consistent than Zombie Man. Actually, that's okay. I'm on crack for that one. I'm definitely not going to say he's more consistent than Zombie Man. Zombie Man still has some good potential. Let's see. Switch Pretty Prisoner and Sonic since dodging is way easier than parries. I don't know. You could spam those parries, man. There's a big difference between parry spamming and dodging. Because if you actually get the. Oh, wait, actually, you're kind of right, though. Uh. No, should be number one on the waifu tier list. Let me see. You're low key kind of right on the Pretty Prisoner argument. You know what? We'll do this. We'll do this. We'll do Sonic here, Pretty Prisoner here, E Iron here. So E Iron is still like top five because of that nuke. But freaking besides that, I think that you are right about like freaking Sonic. He's just really freaking good. He's just one of those characters that are just really freaking good. Like very consistent, very aggressive, very destructive. It's just amazing. Oh, we could go. Everyone needs the best character. Like it's more like they were pretty much jerking off Zombie Man while everyone else was watching because like realistically speaking, Zombie Man's kit is mediocre at best. He has some of the worst M1s in melee form, and he has some of the most inconsistent gunfire ever. Hence why he's like down there and freaking it's really really annoying. He's just also he's like he's an amazing breaker. Don't get me wrong. He's an amazing breaker. Because he's like that's his job. He's a breaker. Yeah, he's not immortal. That's for sure. What's up, guy? Oh, oh yeah, he's bad on auto. Now, if we had an auto tier list, Silver Fang would be top five. Zombie Man was overhyped. He's very squishy. That is true. That is very true. Once he dies the first time, he gets back up. He's gonna die again. He's not fucking immortal. He just regenerates pretty fast. Yep. Job Hunter Saitama's definitely up here. I would even say he's above a lot of characters. I would even say he's above Zombie Man in that department. I don't know. People are sleeping on Job Hunter Saitama. This dude is super consistent. Freaking, even if he's like parrying, he's just going to continuously do damage and get benefits from doing more damage and get benefits from getting a shield. This is a character that also gains damage reduction, so he could just stay on the front lines no matter what. And then just like you never have to worry about this guy. Of course, he's like super hard to build if you don't have his SR card and his potential. But if you do max out this character, he's very, very good. Very, very consistent, very, very good. He's not the craziest of damage dealers, but he's definitely up there when it comes to defensive perks. And just so consistent, it's crazy. I would even say like he's just probably one of the more consistent characters in the entire game because of his kit. Justice Genos. Oh man, that sucks. Yeah, I beat the Ancient King with freaking Job Hunter Saitama. His kit is so good. Moomin Rider. People are sleeping on my boy. This dude's like top 9 for sure. Above Lightning Man. That's actually not bad of an idea because like they both do the same thing. I don't know. This is a hard one. Y'all decide on this one. This is a hard one because job hunting Saitama is very consistent, but at the same time, Lightning Max has a devilish barrage. Devilish. I know what everyone's complaining about now. I know. I'm not. No, I'm not gonna put him up there. So Moomin Rider, he's just one of those characters that just like uh, is incredibly good. He's just like job hunting Saitama, but less consistent because he requires you to get perfect dodges whenever in a very particular state, which is a bit too gimmicky for me. A little too gimmicky for me and a lot of people in this game. It's because it's very, very hard to pull off. You know what I mean? Very, very hard to pull off. Freaking. All right, I'll explain. I'll explain Spring Mustachio. So, Spring. It's either between Spring Mustachio because of his freaking kit. It's just so fucking amazing. It's crazy. Okay, so if you guys have never played Spring Mustachio, for those who've never used the guy, you have to realize this dude. Oh yeah, there's Gosha. There's Gosha, man. We knew he was gonna show up at some point. We knew he was gonna show up at some point. We'll go to that argument in a second after I complete my Spring Mustachio argument. So with Spring Mustachio, right? You get your pretty much your attacks can actually benefit from just doing basic attacks, then go into a skill 2, then use basic attacks, then go into skill 2, then go into basic attacks, then using skill 2, and you get so many benefits and so much consistent damage with just spamming that fucking shit. It's just insane. Dude is an amazing breaker, fucking stupid character, really broken. It's just that he doesn't have any defensives. He's just ridiculous. He's ridiculous whenever it comes down to it. Yeah, exactly. Like his entire kit is relied on you can dodge. What makes him so freaking good also is that you can dodge while you're also doing the fucking skill 2. Which is crazy because like you could be doing the skill 2 and dodging while you do the fucking skill 2. And freaking that's exactly how he fucking sounds. Like freaking it's crazy, but he could dodge while he's in skill 2 and continue doing his skill 2. And fucking he's just like he's so consistent, it's crazy. And everyone disses this dude. He's so amazing. He's amazing for shredding fucking composure like crazy. It's crazy. People are dissing my dude for like not being an SSR. This dude's ridiculous. Yep. Okay. Yeah, it's crazy. You could also yes, that is true. You could also dodge while charging. That's so crazy to me. and he's just so consistent. It's crazy. I love him. He's amazing character. He freaking is up there. Wait, what? Number one bottom for sure. That's crazy. That's something Pretty Prisoner would say. Let's see. Stinger is Pretty Prisoner's number one bottom. Let's see. I used him. I actually used Spring Mustachio as my first character in the game. Okay, so freaking let's go ahead and go down the list now, and let's kind of like see where we kind of stand with everything. So how does everyone agree with Tatsumaki being at number one? Metal Knight. We'll talk about the top five. Do y'all think the top five is very good? Oh, never mind. The argument's gonna start happening in the chat. I'd win. You hit him with the nah. I'd win. Oh wow. Oh, literally die on a hill. Stinger sucks. Damn. Okay. I can make this argument. That Stinger is definitely up here. Definitely not at the bottom of the list. Spot five kind of sus. Zombie Man's just inconsistent. That's why. He's inconsistent, squishy, and very annoying to play because of how mid his melee attacks are. That's the reason why I put Zombie Man so low. He's so inconsistent, it's crazy. Freaking, he's got some of the worst moves in the game too. Let me just I could just dawdle off. Throwing the axe does nothing. Trying to get that parry attack that lasts 8 seconds cooldown is just fucking stupid. Fucking, once you actually get into your gun form, you're actually going to be performing decently. But when you're regenerating your HP, once you get to max HP, you have to switch back to melee form because all of a sudden you lost your fucking gun form. And now you're just not doing as much damage. Stinger is a crazy character. The thing is, we're also just talking about what do you call it? Freaking, it's just like it's really hard to say because this is where we could start like talking about different characters. Yeah, getting his gun form does take too long. That is very fucking true. I hate getting his gun form. All right, because keep in mind, y'all are asking for like people to get dropped out of the top 10. How do we feel about the top 10? Who deserves to get replaced by characters down below? Let's make that argument real quick because freaking there are some characters here that people don't like particularly. Freaking, but at the same time, uh it's just like freaking it's so hard to say because there's some characters here that are very decent. Or do you think that the argument is really with like characters that are in the top 20 instead? Because I think the characters in the top 20 are a lot more like crazy, in my opinion. Y'all are dissing Lillian Springer. That is crazy. Lillian Springer. You don't, dude. You dissing Spring Mustachio? Oh, okay. What? All right. So realistically speaking, who's replacing the Spring Mustachio here? Man, that's crazy. Honestly, I do get that. Freaking Atomic Samurai is just very freaking consistent and really good at doing damage. That's a good one right there. But freaking, I feel like Bang also has some potential here defensively. He's just really up there with that defensive abilities. Getting him up though is pretty crazy. Uh, this is a tough one, honestly. I do get the argument for like the difference between Atomic and Bang. Honestly, it's because Bang takes too long to actually get going. You got to give this dude a Viagra before he could even go into fucking crushing water, flowing water, crushing rock. But freaking, he he's so good, man. He's so good. Uh, you know what? Fine, we'll do this just because Atomic is way more consistent. So y'all think that y'all think that freaking oh dude, y'all have never seen Smile Man pop off the way I have. Just watch any of my streams and you'll see like any of my streams for the Abyssal Dungeon. A full potential Smile Man with the double stack of freaking smile energy can just pop off ultimates left and right, doing ridiculous amounts of damage. Becoming more consistent of a damage dealer than most characters in this entire game. Almost more consistent than fucking Silverfang. Probably is more consistent than Silverfang. Because Silverfang requires dodging. I would even make the argument that he's better than fucking Silverfang. No, that is not true. That is not true. Smile Man throws his kendama, like the little ball. Throwing that fucking ball pretty much is doing your skill or hitting them from a distance. Freaking Stinger can recover stamina accurate dodge. Yes, I do know that. Freaking this is why we're talking about it. This isn't the finished product. The finished product is when we like are done with this and then we move on to something else. So right now we're just discussing it. Silverfang can tank so much though. Yeah, that is true. Smile Man top 10. Oh, that's a hard one. Because, like, freaking Smile Man is amazing at max potential, but so is, like, all these other characters. All these other characters are really freaking good at max potential, just like him. It's just that there's some that are just more consistent than him in this department. Freaking throwing his balls away trying to catch him. Yeah, freaking. He's a lot more consistent than a lot of characters in this game. Just does a ridiculous amount of damage. I would even say the better martial artist in some capacity could be Snek. Snek is an amazing unit. For those who have not used him, you pretty much gain no downsides and you gain all benefits from dodging. He also is one of the only characters with a triple dodge, which means you could do a dodge, dodge, and then another dodge. And like pretty much a triple dodge is ridiculous. And pretty much giving yourselves like freaking um a lot of worth compared to Silverfang where you have to parry and you don't get a lot of bar from parrying over what Snek gets an entire move from freaking dodging. Genos SSR better than freaking okay. Freaking I don't know about that one. He does have range, but he's definitely not better than freaking Spring Mustachio, let's be honest here. Yes, the freaking the crazy dodge. Yeah, freaking the crazy amounts of dodge and the fact that he also gets behind the opponent every single time he gets off that dodge skill. It's so free. It's so free. It's crazy. Uh, the arms. I get what you mean. You could even make an argument for any of these characters having decent arms characters. Freaking Smile Man can have mid damage froze. Freaking no, dude. Smile Man's damage can pop off. That's the only problem with him and a lot of these characters is that their damage can really pop off. And the best part is they don't need some type of gimmick in order to pop off that damage. Uh, the difference between Lightning Max and Genos is just that Lightning Max does do more damage because he's an attacker unit. But the other thing is that this character is very consistent because all you need to do is get that free charge up, which is pretty much a double tap. Well, if we wanted to say like every character is going to win due to the fact that they just have an SSR card, we could pretty much make the same argument for like Silverfang, Atomic Samurai, and just put them all in the top 10. But that's not how the game kind of works. We're also talking about their potential, their kits, what makes them really freaking good, what makes them more consistent than other characters. Like that's the reason why freaking the top 3 is what the top 3 is. Stinger becomes SSR, or just becomes SSR. Lose for sure. Freaking no. That's just weird. That's a weird way to put it. Yeah, yeah. No, like the freaking Lightning Max's DPS is insane. It's just like okay. Let me put it to you this way. So, freaking Genos has the Gatling, right? He has the Gatling. He has the ranged moves. He has the mobility. He can spam. Yes, he can spam, but he takes forever compared to freaking Lightning Max, who pretty much could just stay there doing the kicks, doing the kicks, doing the kicks, doing ridiculous damage incredibly fast. Don't trip, Gosha. We're getting down to that. Okay, so the bottom of the list was never made finished. It was never finished. We're just talking about the top 10 for a second there. And I think we're just moving down the list right now. So if it does come down to these guys specifically, I would even argue that Stinger is definitely above Job Hunter Saitama because of his kit. But Job Hunter Saitama is above Genos and Zombie Man because of he's more consistent. Freaking yeah, Lightning Max is just amazing. You can't diss the homie. The homie's up there, man. I would even say no offense, Gosha. Lightning Max is up there, even top 14, top 15 up there. But it's a minor difference. It's a minor difference because don't get me wrong, getting Stinger's bar and getting that freaking free composure damage is crazy. But Lightning Max can pop off. He can actually pop off. And it's just like freaking Lightning Max is just one of those characters that are incredibly consistent. And I would even argue that like these characters are less consistent than Lightning Max in some cases. Because you don't need any type of startup or gimmick to get Lightning Max's damage off. You just need to be in the right position to do that damage. And then once you do that damage, it's pretty much up from there. Uh, SSR Genos and SSR Zombie Man are just like they're good. Don't get me wrong. They're freaking good. He's Genos is not a buff. He's every character is a freaking buffer, really. Freaking realistically speaking, though, SSR Genos is just one of those characters that are just like very, very good for their job, just not very good overall. Because there's characters. Okay, let me put it to you this way: if we made fucking Job Hunter Saitama a breaker, he would be fucking top 10. If we made Moomin Rider a breaker, he would possibly be top 10. If we made Silverfang a breaker, he would possibly be top 5. It's just that these guys, they're breakers, but they're the most inconsistent uh, characters in the game. Freaking, it's just the way it is. Because like, yeah, we are bringing up potentials in SSR arms. The only difference is with SSR arms, they're a little too exact in order to make a real argument for them because you can make that argument for almost every character. Fuck, you could shit on Tatsumaki because her SSR arm is pretty much invulnerability. Where does that matter with a lot of team comps? So freaking, if that's the case, then isn't she like the worst character here? Then I don't think we can make a real argument with SSR arms. It's just it is hard to say. All right, we could keep going lower. Don't worry, freaking, we're still going through this. So I think we are going to end up doing this in some case. It's just that freaking Fubuki requires a lot of just like not being in the front lines, but actually being a sideline offhand. Like if you're playing a character like Putty Putty Prisoner, you could let Fubuki pop off because she's never going to stop attacking. But if you are trying to main Fubuki while you have characters like Lightning Max and you don't have a tank, Fubuki's not going to be able to pull off her full kit. She won't be able to out damage a lot of people, but she will if she's an offhand character instead. And she just kind of does her own thing. If she does her own thing, then we're pretty much fine there. Like the consistency's there. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It's just that she needs room to breathe. With a lot of these characters, if they don't have a lot of room to breathe, they get fucked up fast. And that's just the way it is. You know what I mean? It's really, really hard to say. Yeah, exactly. Freaking. No, I totally agree with that. Freaking. The combo is just very, very hard to pull off. And at that, you don't get super armor when you're doing that combo. I mean, you don't get hyper armor when you do that combo. Hyper armor is when you take a hit, but you don't stop attacking. But whenever she does take a hit, she freaking falls over and then she cries about it. So she's incredibly, incredibly beatable because of the fact that she requires you to freaking main her in some form of case. It's really, really hard to make that argument that she's better than characters like SSR Genos and stuff like that. I will give SSR Genos this though. He's definitely a little above Job Hunter Saitama due to the fact that he does have range, which is really, really nice because that would make him a great offhand. Yeah, for reals though, she would be a little better if she just had like if she had hyper armor, she'd be great. All right, all right, all right, all right, PJ, all right, Uber, come on, calm down. Let's see. So, any more arguments for characters in this tier list so far? I know a lot of the Zombie Man people are just like, why is Zombie Man so? He's just inconsistent. If they would buff his kit, make his melee way better, make his guns way better, make his because the only two good skills he has is the two gun skills. Who would be top 3 in hot battle? All right, that's like a whole different video. That's not even this video. That's a whole different video. Yeah, this looks really good to me because freaking they're just so consistent. It's crazy. The consistency of a lot of these characters is amazing. Like, there's a lot of characters that get slept on because they don't think that they deserve to be here. Realistically speaking, like we've seen E Iron perform at the highest freaking. No, no lie. I love Golden Ball. It's just that there's nobody that's worse than Golden Ball right now. All right, if you're gonna fight Hot Battle with Stinger, you got to do it with you got to fight Pluton. You got to fight Pluton. You can't fight like Ancient King or anything like that. You have to fight Pluton out of all the freaking Hot Battle characters. E Iron definitely is up there. Why are you calling him Lyrion? Lyron? Lyron. Yeah, yeah, yeah. For reals though. Okay, freaking. All right. All right. So freaking, guys, say bye bye to the people who are gonna watch this on YouTube, guys, because freaking we are. I think this is it. I think we really finished the stream here. I mean, not the stream. We finished the video part of the stream. Now we're gonna go do like tier 15s. But like freaking, yeah. I think we completed the tier list. Top 5 is Tatsumaki, Metal Knight, and freaking Sonic. Pretty Pretty Prisoner and E Iron. Just amazing characters overall. Just incredible characters. Can't go bad with them. They're just amazing. You can't go bad with these guys. Freaking over here we got Dream World Saitama with a high DPS. Freaking we got freaking Genos here with one of the highest DPSs in the game. Triple Staff Lily with the highest like breaker status in the game. Freaking freaking Spring Mustachio, just amazing character. I would even argue he's like maybe number 8, but let's be honest here. He's great, but Triple Staff Lily's counterattacks and hyper armor just make her so freaking good. Atomic Samurai took Bang's spot for top 10. It is what it is. Atomic's just very, very freaking good. All right, if you solo Pluton, bro, we'll freaking if it's gonna take you a little bit, but we'll see what happens there. We got Smile Man, Snek, freaking Lightning Max, Bang, and Stinger for the last top 15. Freaking, we have Genos, SSR Genos, Job Hunting Saitama, and the bottom of the list, pretty much for overall characters. Actually, I would even argue, or we're going to move Golden Ball just a little above Moomin Rider, just because of the fact that Moomin Rider is good, but Golden Ball doesn't need anything like to really go crazy. Sus tier list for reals though. Well, if you guys got any transgressions or anything like that, like any type of arguments, just put them down in the comments below. Where do you think these characters should be ranked? And we'll call it there. Catch you guys later. Take it else and peace out.